Great rising, y'all. I'm going to share some about witches and witchcraft. As many of you already know, I was a bona fide Christian for many years. The whole shebang, pretty much, speaking in tongues. Regular, sometimes excessive church attendance, Bible studies, Sunday school, the whole drill, so to speak. Until I discovered freedom postures in this vast universe of major discoveries that I'm still tapping into, as are many of you as well, living and learning and amending as deemed necessary and fit. There are huge communities who misunderstand witches and witchcraft. When I was a Christian, I thought that damn near everything was evil and demonic except Christianity. Like Christianity had the exclusive lock on what was good, decent, pure, and quote-unquote holy. How wrong I was. There are many people who are not Christians who are loving, generous, kind, precious in their sentiments and attitudes and personas. In fact, some of them are more good in their conduct and decent in their conduct than numerous Christians. But I'm not going to get into that. I digress. I do want to share, though, that we have, for instance, prescription medication. And I'm not anti-medication by any means. But too many people use that as an automatic go-to for their ailments and afflictions before pursuing other routes of resolution, solutions that may in fact prove healthier and more beneficial for their spirits, minds, and bodies. We know that prescription medications are also misused. People get addicted to them. They're sold on the black market. People do corrupt things to gain profit from the sale of prescription medication. Does that mean that prescription medication is wrong, is impure? No. What it means is that the practitioners of what they're doing with it are doing so for greed purposes, for purposes of their own profit, and for agendas that are not pure and for the well-being of the universe. And we can also go into alcohol. Now, I don't drink alcohol, never have liked it. I think I've drank beer 2 or 3 times when I was a teenager to go with the quote-unquote flow, but I never liked it, so I don't even drink wine. It's just not something that appeals to me. Do I knock it? No. I used to date people that drank, so, it's no big deal. People in my family drink. However, alcohol also can be abused, misused. There are people who are alcoholics who are addicted to alcohol. Alcohol makes some folks behave irrationally and violently and abusively. Does that mean that alcohol itself is indecent and impure? No. In fact, it's legal. They sell it in the stores. You can go and buy it just about any time you feel like it. You can order it online. It's the practitioners of the alcohol usage that can get into abusive postures, addictive postures. So those are just 2 examples. So now I'm going into witchcraft. Witchcraft, just like alcohol and prescription drugs and other resources, can be used for decent purposes, pure purposes, and indecent and impure purposes. It's not the witchcraft. It's the practitioners of it. There are witches who are in the practice of witchcraft for the reasons of the well-being of the universe, who spread love, who are giving, kind, generous, precious, and so meaningful for the advancement of what's going on in society, in the world, and on this planet. People need to stop denouncing what they are unaware of, what they misunderstand, what they have been erroneously taught, and do some research into what it actually is. It's a simple process to go on Google and look up witches and the practice of witchcraft and learn that there are witches out here who are doing major things that help this planet to sustain itself. There are witches who are lovers of nature, trees and the moon and the sun and the clouds and the animals, who are tending to the growth and development of the children, who are blessing people and blessing what resides on this earth and helping the babies to be comfortable. So ignorance is rampant, and that is really pretty much a disease, so to speak. So before people continue to denounce and unfairly and unjustifiably place witches in a category of evil and all kinds of practices that impede and harm and damage, yes, there are some witches that do damaging things. There are lawyers that do damaging things, doctors who do damaging things, teachers who do damaging things, scientists who use science in ways that are not for the well-being of the universe. So deal with the practitioners and judge people by the content of their character, like Martin Luther King Jr. used to say, not by ignorance, unawareness, misunderstanding, false teachings, incomplete information. Get to know some witches, because some of them are some of the most gentle, kind, loving, sweet people, generous and kind. In fact, I want to give a shout out to one in particular. Ashira Star Goddess, shout out to you, precious woman. She's a witch. If you were to see her in Walmart, you wouldn't know she were a witch unless she was inclined to tell you. She doesn't look spooky or creepy or bizarre. She's a gorgeous woman. So get to know some witches who are about the well-being of the planet, its resources, and its people. Thank y'all for listening. Bye now. Oh, also another shout out to one of my favorite witches, Chandrielle. She has a Facebook group called Occult Connections, and she is just a sweetie pie. And also Jasmine, a teen, her group, Let's Talk Magic. Ooh, listen to her voice. It's a soothing voice. She doesn't sound creepy or bizarre or or evil. And I haven't heard the voice of Chandrielle, but I know her tone from her postings, and she's just a compassionate person. There are loads of compassionate witches. Go on YouTube if you're so inclined to really know about witches, because if you go on YouTube and look at some of those videos, they are soothing, comforting, helpful, beneficial, great teachers. So if you really want to come into more full awareness about witches, stop depending on what you were taught that is in fact not legit. If you want to learn rather than unjustifiably judge, it's in your best interest to really explore, examine, investigate, and discover. And you will learn that you have been hoodwinked, as Malcolm X used to say. Come on now. Stop, just assuming, and examine and discover for yourselves. Don't depend on information from others as your automatic go-to or as your regular actions. What you need to do is discover for yourself. There's nothing like your own knowledge from your own personal investigations and discoveries and avenues that will lead you more out of ignorant zones. Thank y'all for listening. Bye now.